So, if prospecting plays a role in your business and you've ever found yourself slightly burnt out from it, but also you recognize people respond to your messages much quicker than they respond to your emails, and you really want to leverage it, but you want to do so in a way that's not quite so exhausting, today's episode is for you. We're going to talk about a tool that you can use to connect to your Facebook business page that will automate a lot of the process to take you either into some automated sales, which of course is always fun, or to automate a lot of the conversation to a point where then you as a real person can take over, and it can weed out a lot of the busy work and make sure you're only talking to the people who are really interested in talking to you, the people who are worth your time, the people who will probably turn into a sale. So if you've been wanting to use Messenger to save more time and get more sales, today is for you, my friend. So let's do this. I'm super excited about our topic today. I am here with Miss Jenna Dancy, and she is a digital strategist and messenger expert. So for those of you who are really working to get your message out there, to have an impact on your industry and with your audience, and to really change the lives of the people you work with, but you find yourself getting stuck in the DMs or messages like for hours, and you're realizing there's got to be a better way. There is. And so Jenna is here to tell us about that. So thank you so much, Jenna, for joining us. I'm super excited to dig into your genius.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited to share because it can be craziness when you actually get into your messenger or your DMs. And like you said, it's so easy to get sucked in there all day long. And nobody has time for that. We all have a mission to be out there serving others and sharing our message. And that just doesn't always happen if we're glued to our inboxes.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, connecting with people one-on-one is huge because we all know business is all about connection, but you can't knock yourself dead trying to do all the things yourself either. And so, if you're doing a good job in business, you have lots of leads coming in, and how on earth do you talk to all of them? So I would love to know, for the audience, people in the audience who maybe have not met you yet, could you tell us just a little bit about your business and how you found yourself moving into this space of working as a digital strategist and really kind of zeroing in on messages and DMs?
Absolutely. So I got started online. I bought my first domain name in 2009. I feel like I'm ancient in the online space sometimes. And my business actually started the furthest thing away from being passive or automated as possible. My first digital product, which I wouldn't even really call it digital, and the cart was digital. It was actually a food journal, and people would go to my website, they would purchase it. I'd take my USB, I'd go to Staples, I would print it out, I'd buy a binder, and I would ship it to them. So it was definitely not automated at all. And back in those days, like that's how things worked. If you bought info products, they were usually mailed, they were binders, they were CDs, they were audios. So things have really transformed over the years. And I'm so thankful that they have because nobody has time to be going to Staples and mailing things anymore.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's incredible.
yeah, everything has just really changed, and it's been fun to see the transitions that are happening in the digital space, and they happen really quickly. And so my start was really into health and wellness, and my undergrad degrees are all around marketing and advertising. I have my MBA in marketing, so it was like this dual passion of health and wellness and marketing. And eventually that path collided whenever I thought, well, you know what? I can share my mission to help other entrepreneurs not feel so burnout by adding automation. And so that's really what my focus has been the last few years. And it was about 2 years ago, I was in a space in my business where I was doing everything myself and I was starting to transition where I could bring on a team. But I wasn't quite there yet because each month was either I was covering my monthly expenses or just barely, barely making a profit. And I remember I was in my Facebook inbox, and this is my page inbox, not my personal one, but I was in that inbox and I had this notification that had popped up. And for the life of me, I could not figure out where it was coming from. Like, I don't know if you've ever had that experience in Facebook. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
definitely. I'm like, what is this? How do I turn this on or off? Like, where did this come from? So I totally get it. Yes.
Yes, it's not very intuitive. So I remember I was just like looking and looking, and I finally found this message, and it was from somebody who wanted to work with me one on one. And I got, I was super excited, and I started, typing back to them like, "Oh yes, like here's a link to my calendar. Let's get on a call." And then I realized the message was from like 3 weeks before that, and I just had totally missed it. And I was, I started responding to her, but as today things are pretty much instant gratification. Like if they don't hear back from you within either the first few hours, the first couple of days, like they're moving on.
Mhm.
So needless to say, they found somebody else and I had missed out on that client. And I was just, of course, I was upset. I moved on, but I thought there had to be another way to manage my inbox better. I was a new mom at that point, so I didn't have all the time in the world to be just spending it in the Facebook Messenger or DM. So I actually found out about how to add automation through Messenger and using a platform called ManyChat, which you can actually build out these automations. And I dove full force into what's possible with these, and especially, I'm sure we'll get into this too, but the power that you can have to not just reach out to people in your DMs, but instead combine it with some ads and automation to having people reach out to you instead so that you're really attracting those clients to you instead of messaging other people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's like, I mean, how many of you watching have found yourself in that place where you find a message from 3 weeks ago, like Jenna did, or you're doing your best, the fortunes and the follow up, and so you're trying to follow up with everyone, but there's people who slip through the cracks, right? And you realize, oh God, I never answered that person, and you have that moment where you're like, oh, burn, or like there's just no way to keep track unless you have some sort of a system or some sort of automation. And right, like you can't be a manual slave to your phone all the time either, because what kind of life is that? Yeah.
Right. That's chances are that's probably not why you signed up for business is to be stuck to your phone all day long. It was to have, more freedom to make a bigger impact. And that's not always the case if you're just stuck to your phone.
Right. And you can't really serve your audience very well if you can't even keep track of all the people you're talking to, or you just flat out lose people and you're thinking like, oh God, they thought I ignored them and I just missed it, right? I just missed
Mhm.
it. So, well, and I love too what you talked about of how it's when you're using it correctly, it's not that you're always going out and trying to go to the people, they start coming to you. Now, I imagine when you first started working inside of Messenger and kind of implementing some of these strategies, and all of a sudden you felt that pull of more and more people in your inbox reaching out to you, did that change how your business felt and like your confidence level?
Oh, absolutely. Because I feel like I transitioned from thinking, where am I going to get my next client? Who wants to work with me? And instead it was like, oh my gosh, how do I sort out the best person to talk to? How do I qualify these leads more so that I'm only getting on the phone with the highest quality prospects? And that way that my close rate increased, my sales went up, my business just totally morphed, and I saw a bigger vision of what was actually possible for me and my business.
Yeah. So not only was your close rate and your profits going up, your freedom was going up because you weren't stuck with like the manual hustle of it all. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And what was really cool was I could actually, inside of Messenger, um, there was a way to kind of start to sort out who I was talking to and figuring out if they were the right fit for me to talk with, to see if we were good to work together one on one or join a program of mine, or maybe what was a better solution for them. And I could do that by asking the right questions. And it was all automated too. So if somebody raised their hand and said, Jen, I want to apply to work with you, I could send them through an actual automated application inside of Messenger. And then I could go back and see, if they got stuck anywhere, then I could go in and manually follow up. But they were already through the process. They were already starting to raise their hand to work with me. So it really added a whole nother side of kind of time leverage for me and my business.
So I love that. So certain elements of it are automated, and they're kind of screening out the perfect people for you, so that by the time you are having that manual, like organic conversation, you already know you're talking to someone who's super interested.
Exactly. And I think this works across any niche, any industry, no matter if you're a coach, a course creator, a network marketer, affiliate marketer. Like this can really work depending on what you do. Like for example, for me, some of my services, they revolve around Facebook and Messenger and ads. So I'm able to ask a question to find out if they've ever run Facebook ads before or if they have a budget. If they say that they have zero budget for Facebook ads, I know they're likely not going to be a great fit for my work because that's what I do. And same thing, with you. Say you're a content creator. If there's somebody that doesn't want to use organic social media, they might not be the best fit for you to create content for, right? So
Exactly.
it really helps you make sure you're talking to the right person.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So if the people in our audience wanted to, kind of test this out and start seeing, could some simple automations be right for them? Like how do you get started moving into this space? Like what's the first step?
So for me, one of my favorite things to suggest to clients is if you've ever gone to somebody's Facebook page and then you've seen the little like messenger greeting pop up in the
Yeah.
corner where it says, "Oh, I've got a free XYZ, click get started and I'll send it to you." That's really like the first place to dive into Messenger because it helps to, number one, grow your Messenger list. And um, I'm not sure. Likely, most of you listening have probably started an email list, right? So I'll make a couple comparisons here, just because of terminology is kind of similar. You've got your email list, you're growing your email list with subscribers, right?
Mhm.
Same thing with Messenger. You can have a Messenger subscriber list, meaning that whenever you send out a broadcast message, it's very similar to sending out a broadcast email to your list, right? So that helps to leverage your time and your message and getting it out there. The one thing that's different is really the open rates when you're comparing email and messenger. Like email, I remember whenever we first got started in email, it was like when anytime somebody sent you an email, you opened it up, you read the whole thing word for word. And now like we're lucky if they open it or skim it or click on anything. Like we have to work extra hard to get those open rates. And across the industry, it's about 15% for open rates.
Mhm.
For Messenger, those across industry averages are about 88 to 90%. So you are reaching a huge amount of people comparison to your email inside of Messenger. So that's why I say start with that get started button to start getting people into your Messenger so that you can start tapping into those bigger open rates and start to nurture them inside of Facebook Messenger.
Wow, I love that. So, I mean, to make a jump from 15% open to 80 plus, I mean, that right there is going to increase your traffic, your conversions, everything, because, more traffic is more traffic. More people, more eyes on
Exactly.
it is more eyes on it, right?
Right. And I think that so many of us, I'm not saying that email doesn't exist anymore. I think email is definitely necessary and it's really gives you this omnipresent feel to be able to email, message, reach out to them on other social channels. It really helps you show up in all the places. But
Mhm.
whenever we make them work together is when you can really skyrocket those results. And with email and those open rates, let's say you're growing your list and you want to have 10,000 people on your email list. I remember that was one of my first goals or like my longest goals because I remember hearing you're going to earn $1 per email subscriber on your list. So if you have the goal of having 10,000 people on your list, that means you're going to earn about $10,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
And There's so many variables there. So if you're thinking and maybe you're just getting started and you're like, my email list is like not even 1,000 people yet. I have so far to go. What's really neat when you consider those open rates is to get the amount of opens on a 10,000 person list, you only need about 250 messenger subscribers to reach the same people. So there's a huge impact for you. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather focus on 250 really quality people versus 10,000.
Oh, absolutely. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we've all heard the saying, it's all a numbers game, but it's
Hmm.
only a numbers game if you do it right. Right. And like, wouldn't you want to go for the higher quality people who are like excited to see you pop up in their messenger versus maybe some email people who they passively signed up one day, they've forgotten about you, they don't even check that email. I mean, who even knows, right?
Hmm.
So that's awesome. So for those of you watching, I mean, keep in mind everything Jenna's talking about. She's an expert in both ads and messenger. Both of those stem from your Facebook business page, or some people call it a fan page, right? So if you're still operating only on your personal page, it's time to evolve, guys. And so a business page opens up the gateway to all the good stuff in terms of automation and ads and putting fuel on the fire once you find something that works, right?
Exactly, exactly. So we're not talking about that personal messenger that you're using to reach out to your family and friends. This is coming from your business page. So I'm really glad that you clarified that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, tell us a little bit about what's possible once someone sets up, like, I'll call it a messenger funnel for lack of a better word, right? Like, do you have some examples of results you've had or results other clients have had that you've worked with of either how much time it saved them or like revenue it generated? Like, what's possible when you actually start moving into this space and building out some automation using Messenger?
Yeah, so oh my gosh, I have so many fun things that we could dive into here. I'll start with actually an experience that I had that really showed me kind of what's possible with Messenger. And there's something called a sponsored message ad that you can run on Facebook. And without going too detailed on this, basically, that's an ad that you send out to your Messenger subscribers. Well, whenever I first kind of started playing with Messenger to see what was possible, it was around Black Friday, and I didn't have anything planned for my own business, which was, in hindsight, I was thinking, why didn't I have anything planned that time? But I had another affiliate offer that I was promoting. And my messenger list, they were people that were interested in social media, content creation, templates, messenger. So I knew that they were all along the industry of needing templates or social media posts or content
Mhm.
calendars, right? So this affiliate offer I was decided to promote, she handled a lot of that. So I knew this would be the perfect offer to combine for my list. So what I did is I decided to send the sponsored message, and I spent about $6 sending this out. So if you're thinking Facebook ads, you're like, $6 is nothing, right? When you're thinking big picture with Facebook ads, right? From that, I was able to personally earn $600 in affiliate commissions. And then for the person that I was, the affiliate for, she generated it was almost $2,000 on her end from that $6 ad spend. So that was really exciting to me. And whenever I saw that happen, I was like, okay, there's something to this. And let's see what we can figure out. And if since we're talking about affiliate marketing here, I had a client recently who she was actually an affiliate for a summit, which was really neat because here we are on a summit, right? So she was an affiliate and she wanted to set up a messenger campaign to promote it, and she earned a percentage on the ticket sales. And when we set this up for her, we set it live. It was towards the night, and we were just like ready. We were running the ad to start at midnight. And she texted me as soon as she woke up, and she was like, "I woke up to 4 sales from my message." And I was like, "Yes." And since then, she I think she had ended it with about $5,000 in sales, which was huge as an affiliate marketer. So not even total ticket sales. That was just her affiliate portion of it. So this was really cool to see her be able to do that in just a span of a few weeks promoting the one event. I've worked with coaches who work on either an application basis or work directly one-on-one with people. And I've worked with one, we set up a application to work with her inside of her messenger. So she was able to really segment who she got on the phone with for her one-on-one discovery calls so that when she got on the phone with her limited time schedule, she was only talking to the most qualified people. And so this application really it segmented them either offering a link to her calendar to book or it offered them kind of a downsell in Messenger that was more of an entry level working opportunity with her instead of that one-on-one time based on how they answered the questions. And for her, it saved her a lot of time, but then she ended up with 35 calls from that application, which was huge. And they were much more targeted than just sending out maybe the actual link to book a discovery call with her. So she was able to close more of those calls, get them on as one-on-one clients, and really see the results in her business.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I mean, how many of you listening here today would love to spend $6 and make 600? Or, promote an affiliate offer that doesn't even belong to you and make 5,000? Or set up kind of like a consultation style funnel and have 35 highly qualified leads who they're getting on the phone with you because they want to be a client for you, right? Like this is what's possible. This is so energizing and motivating, at least to me personally. I have the feeling the audience is like, are your guys' wheels turning? Are you feeling this right now? Okay. So I think the audience they're getting how this goes, like why it's worth your time to just like the simplest automations can really clean up so much for you and free up so much time. So I understand that you have a free gift for our audience to help them get started. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so I do. I have a free quiz for you all. So if you're sitting here listening and you're thinking, I don't know how Messenger could work with my business or how I can use it to grow my business, or maybe you've tapped into it a little bit, but you're not unlocking its true potential, this quiz will really help you figure out what your best next step is to really dive into Messenger and utilize it to boost your business. And you can take that quiz over at chatbotsunlocked.com/quiz. And it's only 10 questions. You should be able to get through it in the next 2 to 3 minutes. So don't go yet. Listen, we've got some more fun stuff to share with you. But as you go through, it should not take very long. And you'll get some targeted ways to move on to the next steps in Messenger for you.
Awesome. So just to make it super convenient for you guys to make sure that you can grab the quiz super quick and easy, I will put a button somewhere around this video. Look for it. It's somewhere. There will be a direct button to that quiz to make sure that you can be there in an instant. So I love that because that helps people figure out how to get started if they're thinking maybe this is for me. Like, I think maybe I need to learn a little bit more about Messenger. So that's awesome. I understand you also have a super high value gift for our VIPers as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I do. So if you are listening and you got the VIP pass, I've got something extra special in there for you so that it makes it easier for you to get started. Because when you're first getting started in Messenger, even if you have a roadmap, sometimes you have to go in and start learning how to do all this setup on the back end. So, what I'm including inside of that VIP bundle is a Messenger template that you can do a one-click install into ManyChat, which is a platform that runs on Facebook Messenger. And it's actually set up where it's free for the first 1,000 subscribers. So if you don't even have anything to do with Messenger or ManyChat, you can do this without adding another monthly expense into your business. How cool is that? Number one. And number two, this way you can see what it's like to edit one of these templates, how to use it in your Messenger. I'm going to include some suggested copy, some button ideas so that you know what you can basically plug and play with inside of Messenger. So it'll make your transition to getting started a lot easier.
Oh, that's awesome. What a really nice gift to give people. So guys, if you're a VIP ticket holder, definitely make use of that template. Any kind of templates like this can save you tons of time. So if time freedom is something you're looking for, this one's a no-brainer. Now, if you're not a VIP ticket holder yet, there's still time to scoop one up. There'll be buttons somewhere on this page where you can grab one if you're not yet a VIP ticket holder. And then, of course, remember to pop into our Facebook page where you can ask questions, and Jenna will make sure that they get answered for you and can interact with you a little bit there as well. So thank you so much for joining us, Jenna. I know that I'm super energized by this, and I'm really excited about the potential of what can happen when you unlock messenger automation using the right strategies and the right templates, including the one that you're giving away for free, which is awesome.
Yeah, this has been really fun, and I've enjoyed sharing, what's possible for you and the listeners. And really, if there was one key takeaway that I could share with getting started, is you don't have to be robotic with automation. It's really about tapping into who you are and the message that you're serving. Because if there's one thing that I know from working with the clients that I serve, like the biggest fear is sounding out of alignment with what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So the way to do that, and as you're, if you're a VIP and you're playing around with this template, is think about how you talk, what kind of gifts you use. Do you use your voice? Like how you can integrate that into your messenger so it really shows up as you and your personal brand, because this is not just something that you can use if you run an e-commerce store that doesn't really have a face to the brand, right? It really works wonders for personal brands, and especially if you're at this stage in your business where you know you you're kind of on the edge of bringing on somebody to help you, or maybe you're just struggling to manage it all, and your first thought is to bringing on somebody to help you kind of organically have these conversations. I just ask you to think about that for a second and consider whether maybe a little bit of automation to actually show up and answer questions as your own voice is the best way to do it, or maybe bringing on somebody that doesn't quite talk the way that you do. And if you're anything like I feel, it's really you that are the one that sells what you do the best. You're the one that shares what you do the best. You're the one that knows the answers to the questions that your potential clients have the most. So, utilizing this automation is really the best way to scale those conversations that you're having. And I'm not saying that it's totally taking you off the table, because you're really what makes your brand shine, right? But it's adding that leverage so that you can free up more of your time to then go do the work that you're meant to be doing.
Oh, I love that. Only you can be you, right? And you can shine through even if you are using automation. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much, Jenna. This was so amazing.
You've been listening to the Impactful Entrepreneurs Show with Adrienne Hill, where we support coaches, course creators, and network and affiliate marketers to translate their big picture vision into actionable plans to build out their business efficiently. If you love our show, we invite you to visit buildalifebydesign.com to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover more helpful resources. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, and share. Thank you for listening.